we asked the students at Centennial High School about their opinions on the drinking water quality at school.
Drinking water quality is imperative to student success.
We're all very safe.
About safety.
It's pretty good.
Evolving.
The EPA's lead and copper rule sets the standard for how much lead and copper content is safe for people to consume in water. However, in various areas throughout the country, officials have seen elevated levels of both lead and copper. These contaminants typically enter the drinking water through plumbing, since corrosion can cause minute amounts of lead and copper to loosen and enter the water.
The largest issues we see, particularly in schools and in childcare facilities, is stagnant water that sits in the pipes and can have an effect on water quality.
Since schools close on the weekends and during long breaks, educational facilities suffer far more than other institutions. The drinking water in Howard County is first filtered by the Ashburton plant, the Montebello plant, or the Patuxent water plant. Afterwards, it's sent individually to all the schools.
Water that's coming into the building is treated right here and then sent out to the main pipes throughout the building. And we go through a monthly training of how to keep up with cleaning, the shut off and everything in case of emergencies for all the systems in there.
Water quality in Howard County Public Schools meets all federal and state legal requirements, monitoring elements, and in places where we need mitigation strategies. When I meet with my chief operating officer, we talk about water. We get a favorable report back.
The uncertainty of the filtration systems as a whole can lead to the perception that drinking water outlets are not tested or clean either, which can only be changed through efforts to generate a community awareness about the system. Ultimately, though Howard County schools have safe drinking water, not all school districts have the same resources available to conduct such extensive efforts.
There is no safe level of lead exposure, and children are the most vulnerable to the harmful impacts, impairing children's normal brain development. It can contribute to learning and behavioral problems, lower IQs, etc. An estimated 20% of our exposure to lead can come from drinking water.
Though people may not consider improving water quality as an urgent concern, they may also not be aware of the full extent to which such contaminants can affect their health. Lead stored in the bones can be released later in life and can lead to a lowered IQ. Adults with high blood pressure and kidney problems are also more sensitive to the effects of lead. Not only should we concern ourselves with the health of students, but with the health of teachers and staff as well. So what are the various methods that can be implemented to improve water quality?
When any fixture shows levels that are above the state's action level, which is, according to my research, 5 parts per billion, we take immediate action. And so we'll replace those fixtures. We're also being proactive about emerging concerns when it comes to PFAS. There's always room for enhancement.
One of our experts brought up a unique idea that touches on another aspect of water quality, possibly even more pertinent. Specifically regards the runoff of road salt and other contaminants into streams that make their way into treatment facilities.
Well, one of the big issues that's kind of hitting us is the salt, because it is so harmful to the ecosystems and it's so difficult to remove. Things washing off of parking lots, contaminants getting into the streams that way. So stormwater contaminants are very common still.
Including more than $50 billion for EPA to strengthen our nation's water infrastructure after decades of underinvestment.
From the Safe Drinking Water Act of 1974 to the National Primary and Secondary Drinking Water Regulations for public water systems, our country has been implementing drinking water protocols for decades. However, there's still much to accomplish. Governmental agencies need to enforce the transparency of possible contaminants in school water outlets and make these concerns clear to parents. In addition, the federal government must increase funding towards school districts that cannot afford routine testing or the replacement of their lead pipes.
Never implemented corrosion control. They've been above the lead action level since 2015. Jackson has just been allowed to continue without following federal law. EPA put out an emergency order in March 2020 that said the residents of Jackson's were at an imminent and substantial endangerment.
I believe we need to continue elevating this issue at all levels of government. I think that clean, safe drinking water shouldn't be a luxury. It should be a fundamental, inalienable right that directly impacts, positively impacts and improves those educational outcomes.
People don't realize how personal the issue of drinking water quality is in our lives until alarming reports appear in the news. Your very community could be unknowingly suffering from the effects of lead and other contaminants. The water you drink every day may be polluted and unknowingly damaging your health. While this may seem disturbing, this concern is also wholly preventable. It should be the paramount duty of our nation to make clean water available to students and staff in every school, a goal we could achieve together.